Constable First Class Jeff Smith. Constable First Class Brian Cherry. Constable First Class Don Crow.
Thank you, John. Well, that's a distinct possibility. I'm handing over the third helicopter to the police force on Monday, and of course the policy of my government is that of decentralisation. And of course you're getting this huge headquarters even here in Newcastle, and of course there are difficulties. There's the question of servicing, but there is a distinct possibility as we increase our air wing, we'll be locating these types of aircraft right throughout the state.
We're going to line everyone right across as far as we can go. You'll have 4 markers, or faithful dogs as we call them, behind, with one in the centre with a loud hailer. Now we don't want you getting 4 or after the line. Maybe a body, very easy to miss. I want you to look in front once you start to get into this, and look behind.
Well, we hope to find anything that will help us in our inquiries. This lady has been missing since last Thursday. Was reported missing on Friday by members of a family, and we are concerned as to her safety.
About how many police are involved in the search?
Around about 50 altogether.
Why have you chosen this particular area to search?
There's a tie-up between the family and this particular property, and this is where we've chosen to search this afternoon.
You have obviously not ruled out the possibility of foul play.
We haven't ruled that possibility out altogether, certainly.
And you'll continue the search until hopefully you come up with something?
Yes, yes.
Where's the one, the trauma dressing here?
Well, when we got the call, we weren't sure whether they'd been contaminated with the dieseline or not, but fortunately it hadn't been. The diesel tanks had ruptured, or the pipes had come off prior to the load, and another driver had managed to stop them to the best of his ability, and we did keep the dieseline away from the load.
Nitropyr is an explosive used in mines. How lethal is it?
It's not an explosive on its own. It's when it's contaminated with fuel oil. It's a substance called ANFO. It's ammonium nitrate and fuel oil. They use it for blasting.
With the compression of any other part of your body at this stage. Now, when you talk in rescue situations, there is a difference between a patient who is compressed and trapped. But in fact, when you go to a patient who's not crushed, this too can act adversely to the patient, can't it?
The subjects covered are mainly to orientate police, rescue and industrial personnel in problems that they will encounter at accident scenes. These could be varied in many accidents. For example, crush syndrome. They may have to assist ambulance officers in the management of people that have been compressed or crushed in an accident. Things like traumatic amputations, that is where legs have been or arms have been ripped off in accidents, where again they might have to assist the ambulance officers in treatment of the patient as a whole and also dealing with the leg that's been amputated.
Gary, can you give me an instance like when this has been required?
In mass disaster situations, we struck many people suffering from compression at the Granville train disaster, and we can get it in all sorts of situations. Building collapses, sand falls, we can get that in normal range of any accident where something falls on top of a person and compresses them.
Someone driving by might have been thirsty and thought that I was coming to nowhere to go. Are you finished AF4? No, I see. Yeah, the police there. Yeah.
It was about 11 o'clock last night that locals heard an explosion rip apart this main store at Neath, and it was immediately engulfed in flames. Soon afterwards, a young man was seen running from this corner of the building across Main Road and up beside the railway line for half a kilometre before jumping into a light-coloured getaway car.
It's real disaster for us because we got nowhere to go, you know, and we insured all right, but the insurance doesn't cover the loss, what we lost, you know. We lost the business and we lost the house, our furniture, we lost everything, you know.
Go and get him, Robin. Go on, Robin, it'll be fun.
Yeah, just like a baby with a potato peeler.
Go and get him, Robin. He's asleep.
Oh, Lisa, why are you doing this? You can't really be thinking of... You're mad.
Just get the baby, Robin.
Go and get him, Robin.
Go on, Robin. Go and get him.
Listen,
Come on, Robin.
This can't be serious.
Come on, Robin.
Oh, you hate me, don't you? It's always been you two.
We just want you to get the baby.
Oh, Lisa, don't.
Get the baby, Robin.
Come on, Robin. Get
Come
the
on,
baby.
Robin.
Come
Get
on.
the baby.
Get the
Don't
baby.
play
Come
with
on,
Timmy, Robin. Come on, Robin.
Don't play with Jimmy.
Go and get him.
Last week we heard of TAA's decision to withdraw from its Newcastle service, and at the time it was said that East West Airlines would be taking over the run. Today, East West officials came to Newcastle and confirmed that decision. Their plan involves a close partnership with a commuter airline, which in this case is East Coast Airlines. But that plan has struck a last-minute hitch. Although East West has approval to operate out of Newcastle, East Coast Airlines still hasn't got New South Wales government permission to operate out of Williamtown.
Now, if the New South Wales government refuses to issue that licence, what they're really saying is that they prefer the arrangement whereby all passengers from Newcastle are forced to travel on from Sydney by Ansett.
What the winds were at the time rather than the forecast winds. You reported it prior before you got ready. That's what it is. There's a radar there. Tory folks have been experiencing heavier winds, but then he's been in a very clear.
For search parties and for aircrew, it's been another frustrating day of scouring hundreds of thousands of square kilometres of bush, some of it extremely dense rainforest, without any sign of the downed Cessna 210. As on the two previous days of the search, there have been numerous reports of sightings, but all so far have proved negative. A spokesman for the Department of Transport said late this afternoon that although the search will be suspended tonight, it will be back in full swing tomorrow.
Well, at the moment, the hairstyles in London are quite close hairstyles to the head with a lot of volume running through, incorporating permanent wave, a lot of colour to accentuate the internal shapes that we are producing.
But what may suit London women may not necessarily suit Australian women.
Right. Well, with fashion, it's basically hairstyles are for a very individual thing. You take into consideration the bone structure and their lifestyle. And as the lifestyle in Australia, the climate is very hot at certain parts of the year, and therefore these closer looks will be ideal. You can swim with them, let it dry in the sun, and you will still have a very good shape internally.
The factor is that I think a lot of people are looking for places closer to the main markets to have their holidays, and I think for that reason we're in the box seat. Just the number of caravan parks that are presently being developed, I think, shows that.
Do you believe that Wyong Council will take a further stand to encourage this sort of interest in the area?
Well, Wyong Shire Council themselves own 4 caravan parks, which they provide services for visiting people to the area, and I think just by the nature of their involvement with their own 4 parks shows that they are interested in the future of tourism in the Shire.
Likelihood of the Sandy Hollow Railway being completed almost ranks with the possibility of finding the lost city of Atlantis, discovering life on Pluto, picking the trifecta, and Parramatta winning a premiership.
The present contract is for $250,000 for this job, and that should be completed in about 12 months. What happens after that depends on the State Rail Authority's attitude towards concrete sleepers. Concrete sleepers are more permanent than timber ones, and with present day prices for timber, the concrete sleeper becomes more economic and in fact is cheaper than the timber sleepers formerly used.
Become very much involved and we're coming out from school, and we of course are
You can't see through to the other end of the tunnel, but that's only because there's machinery blocking the way. The tunnelling work that was begun from each end did meet in the middle as planned, and it's now only a matter of weeks before work has begun laying the line through the tunnel.
Well, we've got a program costing almost $250 million, and that'll allow us to buy something like 150 new major locomotives and another 750 coal wagons. We're also virtually rebuilding the railway through the Hunter Valley. Our fellows are as confident as you can be that we can handle the tonnages. We're aware of the projected tonnages over the next few years. I think the railways have proved in Newcastle they can do the job, and we're very confident that we'll be able to cope.